Every single swim, every single dive matters. We found out in 2011, 1 point can make all the difference. That one swim that just seemed to be off the radar could be the difference between winning a championship and coming home dissatisfied. A couple years ago, it was maybe Robert Berry's 100 butterfly, getting 16th place. That earned us that 1 point in Knoxville that got us over the hump. There's countless other ones. Maybe it was just that touch out in Cleveland that allowed somebody to get into a championship final versus a consolation one. Maybe it was just that little bit of effort that allowed somebody to get into a console final and swim in lane 8 versus just sitting and watching that night. Every single performance next week counts, and it's going to be this that will be the determining factor. And my question is, are you ready to compete? From the very first day of practices last September, we've been focusing on getting the kids to address the areas in their swimming that they need to improve and to perform well, and we'll carry that same theme all the way through. Obviously, the kind of workouts that we're doing right now are very different. I mean, we're not, the volume is down and the intensity is up. The kids are pretty much in a heavy rest mode right now, just trying to let the bodies, respond to all the heavy training that we've done throughout the year and just get them fresh so that they're ready to go fast next week. Oh, there's always a lot of tweaking. Some of the kids are going to, as we get closer and closer to nationals and the wheels start to turn and the screws start to tighten a little bit, all the kids are going to present different kinds of needs. And some of those needs might be emotional and mental, and just trying to keep them in a relaxed, frame of mind, and just keeping them loose, keeping them focused in on the right things. It's with this much, a lot of these kids are very goal-oriented, they're very success-oriented, and so they're going to put a lot of pressure on themselves, and managing that pressure and managing that expectation is probably where we spend most of our time right now. To a certain extent, the hay's in the barn from a physical standpoint. There's only so much that we can tweak at this point, but keeping them in the right mindset and in the right emotional state is probably the most important thing, and probably where we're spending most of our energy as coaches right now. Well, every year is a new year. We've got a new team every year. You may turn over 25–30% of your team, but the challenges in many ways are the same, just from the standpoint that we're trying to get our kids to perform at levels that they've never performed before. And the message where we are, we're national contenders now. We're going to be in the thick of things next week, and everything goes our way, we might come back with a national championship or two. But the challenges to this team are pretty much the same as they were when I first arrived here, and that's to swim and perform at levels that we've never been at before, and to get these kids to do things they've never, that they've really never been able to do before. So I mean, the focus is the same as it was 27 years ago. We're just dealing with maybe a little bit more experienced, more talented team now than we did back then. Well, I think we've got 52 individual chances to score next week, plus 5 relays. So that's just on the men's side. And then on the women's side, we've got 44 chances to score points. And every single one of those swims is going to matter. Now, obviously, we've got certain strengths in our program. On the men's side, our diving core is going to be real important to us. Our men's sprinters are good. Our men, the kids swimming the individual medley are going to be real important to us. But that's not to discount the other events that we're going to be doing too. Every race counts. Back in 2011, we won our first national title by 1 point. And you sit back and you replay the videotape in your head about those 4 days, and you think about where that 1 point came from, And I just remember Robert Berry, who during his junior, we threw him in the 100 fly for the first time in his career. and he finished 16th that year in the 100 fly, and that was 1 point. And that's the difference between winning and losing. So every event matters, every swim counts, whether it's a championship final or whether it's a consolation final, whether it's taking place in the middle of the pool with maybe one of our best swimmers, or it's taking place with maybe one of our, a young man or young woman maybe in one of their off events. Every swim matters and every swim counts, and that could be the difference between winning and losing a title. On the women's side, we're very, very strong in the sprint events. We're very strong in the distance events. We've got some great senior leadership in Natalie and Morgan and Tully, and I think they've done a great job in getting us going. But there's no one particular area that's going to stand out when all of them are equally important. You have to do an inventory of what you're buying into right now. What are you buying into? Are you buying into the idea that I'm going to this pinnacle competition where only the apex predators live? That's what this is next week. This is the Apex Predator Olympics. And the thing is who will be the ultimate apex predator? Will it be us, or is it going to be somebody else?
My name is Carlos Maciel, and I'm qualified for the 200 freestyle, the 100 freestyle, and the 200 IM. I'm really excited. I think I've never been as well prepared for nationals as I am this year. You don't know. I think this season we did a lot better job as far as focusing on swimming and on technique. We changed a lot of stuff in the weight room and in the pool that I feel helped me a lot. And so I'm really, really confident about our preparation this season. I mean, the coaches, they are here to set us up for success, and that's what they do every day. They write great practices. They're always providing us with great feedback, positive and negative. And I know they're always watching, they're always trying to help. And without them, we would not be the great team that we are. I think we have the greatest coaching staff in the country right here. Oh yeah, we're great friends, all of us. We all trust each other. We all have a lot of fun. Now we have a lot more energy because we're starting to rest, so we're goofing around a lot. We're always telling jokes to each other. So the whole team atmosphere is pretty great. I think the thing in swimming that if I was to point out one thing that I developed the most, I became a lot smarter swimmer. I know a lot more about my technique and what it takes me to swim fast than I did before, so I can swim a more conscious race than before, and that made me drop a lot of time. It's weird. It does motivate me. I do think that now I will, just leave everything in the water. I've been swimming for 20 years, so I don't know how it's gonna be after I'm done, but I'm trying not to think about that.
I'm swimming the 100 free, 200 free, and 500 free. It's easy to say that you've increased your speed over time, but knowing how to swim the races better is the thing I think I've gotten better at along the way. So, yeah. Well, I think the coaches have had regular meetings with all of us every few days and talk to us about how important it is to regroup as a team, especially before going to nationals. And they're always there for us throughout the season, especially if we ask for help. So, yeah. Well, I've been coming to practice every day.
Men's 100-yard breaststroke, the NCAC placed 2 swimmers in the top 5 as Denison junior Damon Rosenberg touched the wall in 54.65 to earn 4th, while freshman Trevor Manns of Kenyon finished 5th. The fireworks continued on the women's side as Denison senior Natalie Lugg earned her first national title in the 100 breast, touching the wall in 102.27. Lugg, who finished 4th as a junior, broke through in dramatic fashion as a senior to take home the title. The 100 breast, the IU Natatorium once again turned its attention to the diving well as the men's 1-meter board was up for grabs. The Big Red collected important points for Denison as Ben Lewis came up just short of defending his 1-meter national championship. Lewis, whose final dive scored a remarkable 63.70, brought him just 1.20 points shy of the title, finishing 2nd. Denison's Mac Levy took home 4th, while 3-meter national champion Connor Dignan finished 8th. The final event of Friday's finals was the 800 free relay. On the men's side, Denison led the way for the North Coast, earning a second-place finish in a time of 6:33.39. The women's 800 free relay, once again, it was Denison who paced the North Coast squads, finishing third in a time of 7:24.42. The men's 1650, where the crowd was treated to history as senior Al Wyke of Denison became the first swimmer in D3 history to win the event 4 straight times. Wyke touched the wall in a time of 15:05.60. In the final event of the 2014 championships, the 400 free relay, in front of an electric crowd. In the men's race, Denison closed out its championship week with a second-place finish in a time of 2:58.67. On the men's side, Kenyon earned its program's 33rd national title with a total score of 480 points. Denison was second for the 9th time in program history with 472 points, while DePauw finished 15th with 100 total points. It was the 6th time in the last 7 years DePauw has finished in the top 20. On the women's side, Kenyon took home second in a score of 456.5 points, while Denison was 4th with 374.5. It was the 8th consecutive top finish for the Big Red.